Willie D Live.
What's up, family? An inmate who was at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan on the day that Jeffrey Epstein was found hung, has a story to tell. And it's wild, fam. Man says he overheard guards talking about Jeffrey Epstein's death and trying to cover it up. Yeah. Now, they didn't name this inmate, but the FBI did interview him. And here's the story according to Audacity. Dude, you killed that dude. The inmate account that raised new questions about guards at Metropolitan Correctional Center. A federal inmate told investigators that shortly after Jeffrey Epstein was found dead inside the Metropolitan Correctional Center in Manhattan, prison guards themselves were openly questioning what had happened, according to the inmate. He overheard officers talking amongst themselves about the death, and one guard bluntly remarked, "Dudes, you killed that dude," implying that the staff believed their own failures or misconduct may have contributed to Epstein's death. The statement surfaced during FBI interviews conducted as part of the investigation into the circumstances surrounding Epstein's death in August 2019, while he was awaiting trial on federal sex trafficking charges. The account added to growing scrutiny over how the jail handled Epstein's confinement. Epstein had previously been placed on suicide watch, but was later removed from it. And on the night of his death, 2 correctional officers failed to perform required inmate checks. Those same guards were later accused of falsifying log entries to make it appear that rounds had been conducted. The situation highlighted a series of breakdowns into the facility, including staffing shortages, lapses in monitoring, and procedure violations that raised serious questions about how one of the most high-profile inmates in federal custody could be left unmonitored in the hours before he was found dead. Now, I gotta call a strike, and a ball, fam. Y'all know what it is. We all know that Jeffrey Epstein did not kill himself under any circumstances. And I'll tell you once, I'll tell you twice, I'll tell you 1,000 times. The reason why is because billionaires don't kill themselves. Billionaires do not kill themselves, straight up. That ain't how it go. Billionaires ride off into the sunset. Billionaires use their position they use their money to get everything that they want. They use their money to get everything they want. So, no, I do not believe under any circumstances that Jeffrey Epstein killed himself. It don't even make sense. What does make sense is that Jeffrey Epstein was murdered. That's what makes sense. What makes sense is that he was murdered so that he could be silenced, because this man knew the most powerful people in the world. We're talking about dignitaries from all over the world. We're talking about presidents, kings, princes. We're talking about queens. We're talking about billionaire after billionaire after billionaire visited his island. And from what we can tell by those Epstein files, many of them participated in nefarious acts, straight up criminal acts with underage girls. So I absolutely believe that Jeffrey Epstein was killed. If guards did not kill him, if the guards on duty did not kill him, they sent in some special guards who had access to get in there. They either special guards or special inmates that do their bidding for them, because in these prisons around the United States, they do have hired guns who they use to go in and kill inmates for whatever reason. Sometimes, an inmate might be problematic. It might be a situation where it's something gang related. COs and people who work at the prison do take out inmates. This happens all the time. So this is one of those things that came from the top. This came from the top. This wasn't no regular hit. This was to silence a very powerful person who had information on a number of powerful people. And I think that they invoke the old mafia mantra of why take a chance? Like Jeffrey Epstein, he's a friend. I think he's harmless, but he is locked up. He's in jail. He's not the type of dude that could do a life sentence. He knows a lot about a lot of people who have been involved in criminal activity. And he could tell. He could give names to save his own skin, because that's how it go in the United States. You can commit all kinds of crimes, but if you can give them a bigger fish, you can go home. So they probably sitting back thinking about it like, you know what? Yeah, I don't know. If he might tell, he might not. Why take a chance? And I think they just decided, you know what? Let's just cut this loose end. And they killed him. He was absolutely killed, no doubt about it. Now, I've heard some people say that they think he's still alive. I bet you if I was to take a poll, watch me now. I bet you if I was to take a poll, those same people would be saying they think Tupac is still alive. Tupac is dead. Jeffrey Epstein is dead. The reason I know that Tupac is dead, I didn't get any substantial proof or anything. I don't know. I said 1 + 1 is 2. Tupac plus excitement, confidence, arrogance, whatever you want to call it, pride. It's just too much to conceal. It's too much to suppress. Ain't no way Tupac would be alive and he would be okay with all of this sucker stuff that's going on in hip hop and all of these dudes stepping in, jumping in front of him and people putting him further and further down the list of the greatest and saying this guy, this mumble rapper is better than him. Ain't no way Tupac would be silent about that. Ain't no way he'd let that slide. Tupac couldn't fake his death for 5 minutes. It'd be 5 minutes in, Tupac like, got you, motherfucker, you couldn't kill me 5 shots, shot me again, I couldn't die. But I'd be like, you crazy, I'm not dead. So this is how I know Jeffrey Epstein is not dead. Jeffrey Epstein lived for privilege. That was his thing. Privilege. That was his thing. And so to not be able to enjoy that privilege, to not be able to go where he want to go and, be that dude who connects the dots with the most powerful people in the world, that was his thing. He was a conduit for the rich and famous and the powerful to go into that world, that dark world of child abuse and trafficking and exploitation. He was that dude, and he reveled in it. That was his safe space. So if he was alive, he would absolutely not be able to hide that. He would actually have to be known. Remember, when you look at all of these pictures and stuff, Jeffrey Epstein, although he was a man of few words, you could tell that he took a lot of pride in being on the scene and being seen with all of these powerful people. He took a lot of pride in that. So now Jeffrey Epstein is dead. You'll never see Jeffrey Epstein face again in the flesh. You'll never hear him speak again in life. He's dead. And that is because he was murdered. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.